Thank you so much, Dr. Hill. As always, just fantastic to partner with you on events that we so strongly believe in. It's great to see everybody out here for one of my favorite events of the year, one that fuses two great Springfield College traditions, sports and social justice. Back in 2015, I had the opportunity to work with some people on what was then called Tom Waddell Day. And Tom Waddell, some of you are aware of him because his banner stand usually lives downstairs. This cardboard cutout lives in my office. But Tom Waddell would be celebrating his 60th reunion this June, and there are members of his class who are here today. Tom Waddell was an extraordinary human being. He was one of the greatest athletes in Springfield College history, if not the best. That's a big statement to make, I know, but this was someone who was a three-sport athlete in the unusual combination of football, gymnastics, track and field. So good in track and field that he went on to represent the United States in the 1968 Olympics in Mexico City. In the decathlon itself, one of the greatest challenges in the world of sports, took 6th in the world. And sports was the least interesting thing about Tom Waddell. He was an absolute warrior for social justice on many, many fronts. He went down to Selma in 1965 with Dr. King to work on voting rights. He was a doctor, he was an Army paratrooper. In 1976, he came out as gay in the most public way possible in the pages of People magazine. Went on to start the Gay Games in 1982. Died way too young of AIDS in 1987 at the age of 49, but packed more into those 49 years than almost anyone packs into their lifetime. After that great first day, Craig Poisson, who had worked here for many years but was just then appointed as the athletic director, came right up to me, to my office, and said, "We have to keep this going. This cannot be a one-off thing." And he was just insistent that this was something that really needed to be brought into Springfield College in an ongoing way. And out of that, working with Craig, working with Dr. Hill, working with Michelle Lee Cicino, working with Joe Long, we have crafted this Sports and Social Justice Symposium, and this is the 4th one of these that we have had. And today we've had great guest speakers all along, and we will not disappoint today because we have someone who embodies Tom Waddell's legacy really in a beautiful way, in an ongoing way. Mimi Murray is an institution at this institution. She has been here longer than I have been alive, and I am not young. But she is young, somehow. Somehow she is young. She came here in the fall of 1957. And very proud of it, she says. And she is about to retire after this semester, and it is, for so many of us, next to impossible to contemplate a Springfield College without Mimi Murray. In her unique style, in her hats, in her scarves, in her Corvettes, with her profound love of the history of Springfield College and her ongoing commitment to fairness. Fortunately, we get to hear some of her amazing story today. And the way that's going to work is in a Q&A format up front here in a couple minutes, right after we run this slideshow about the amazing Mimi Murray. exactly where we're going to start. Mimi, thanks so much for joining us here.
Thank you.
You actually knew Tom Waddell.
I did. I even dated him.
How about that? That's going to be a good story. Let's get right to that.
Let's get right down there. Yep, that was Tom. Wonderful. I have a chance to talk about
Please, what can you tell us about
Oh,
Tom?
I can tell you a lot of things because he was a wonderful man, number one. He just embodied what we think of as humanities, totally and completely. As you've heard, he was, and I have some photos wherever, Joe, are they on?
Yep.
Okay. I have some photos of Tom that I collected over the years, and he was just amazing. You've got a good chance to see him, and I have coveted, by the way, that cutout of Tom Waddell. I had no idea it was in Dr. Dobrow's office, or I would have made a midnight raid. But there he is. So this is Tom, and amazing, he went into the Army after he left Springfield College, but amazingly, he managed to combine, and in dazzling doses, strength, sensitivity, intelligence, et cetera, et cetera. He was an amazing athlete in person. This is Tom as a child, and I love it because he had freckles. Even the last time I saw him, and look at those freckles. Isn't he darn cute? Tom had a kind of rough childhood. His parents weren't too interested in him, so he found another family where he could train and work out, and they actually were vaudevillians. And they kind of adopted him, and his father, oh, I have a wonderful slide here too. Let's see, come on. Is that it? Okay, they were vaudevillians, and this is on the 8th floor of the Empire State Building. And Tom is not in this picture. It was his adopted father, who's the third man up, the high man, doing the handstand. And it's not, fake like those photos we have today. This is real. So this is the household Tom grew up in. 2 vaudevillians, and they owned a dance studio. So Tom loved dance. I did too. And that's probably why we went out a couple of times. He was a great, great dancer. So I'm really having trouble here. Let's go, come on. Okay, good. This is Tom's graduation picture when he could.
Back up.
I think the problem is, you all think I'm a teacher, so I have eyes in the back of my head. Anyway, okay, okay. That's his graduation picture. And everybody had a crush on him. That time crushes were in. So you know how long ago it was. Okay, this is Tom and Len on the gymnastics team on a radio show, television show, I'm sorry. Tom is the second one in from our left. Look at those 6-pack abs. Woo! Next to him is one of his dear friends, Don Marshman. And Don died tragically. He fell from the rings, hit his head, and he was gone very, very soon after that all happened. So when that happened, Don was in pre-med, and Tom said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to dedicate my life to helping others. He had such respect for Don Marshman. Oh, let's see if I can do this right this time. Oh, yeah. Here's Don. Don was a very, very good gymnast. He fell during an event that we don't have anymore because it's much too dangerous, the flying rings. And he fell, he flew off the rings. He had the flu, wasn't feeling that good, but anyway, he went to work out. And he flew from the rings, and he flew so far, there weren't any mats, and landed right on his head. So it's just a terribly tragic thing that happened. Oh, boy, I'm going the wrong way again, Calvin. I need a lot of help. Oh, geez. Okay, Marty, I promise I'll get on task. Here's Tom in the middle of the gymnastics team, kneeling down. And these are the kind of balancing acts that team used to do. All I can think of is those parallel bars were pretty darn strong because it was just a wooden board, a plywood board put over the 2 parallel bars. And obviously phenomenal balancing going on. Here's Tom. Tom loved a crowd. He loved to perform. That's Tom, top right. It's for a tap dance they did at that particular year in gymnastics. And here's Tom again with his coaches, Coach Frank Walcott on the far right, and Tom second from our left, and just being Tom, very serious. Here he is, and these first photos are of him performing at Springfield. Fabulous track athlete, and javelin was one of his main events, pole vault, all of those things that led, of course, into the decathlon. And here he is at the end of a long jump, and I love seeing him with the Springfield College jerseys on. And he's in this photo of the track team with his coach, Vern Cox. He's up at the top, and he's the fourth one in from our right, top row. And I need to tell you that Vern Cox has to be one of the most fabulous coaches, and they're all fabulous. The ones that are here I'm so proud of too, but Vern Cox coached a couple of United States teams, and Tom said, this is a quote from his book, that Vern Cox was the best of the best. And he was. And whenever Tom was getting ready for a big meet, he'd come back, meet with Vern Cox, and catch up on a few little tidbits from Vern, and felt he was ready. Exactly what he did before he made the U.S. Olympic team. So Vern is in our Hall of Fame, and probably has had as many, if not more, All-Americans than any other coach we've had. With a great track and field athletes. This is Tom. Tom high jumping, and here he is. He was a member of the pre-med club, and that's Tom, bottom, second from our right. And then after graduating from Springfield, he went to medical school and joined the Army. He was a pacifist and refused to kill anyone. And so he was allowed to practice medicine while in the Army. And he was taking care of all those people that had been hurt in the battles of his time. So that's Tom Brigden, very serious. The Army also provided a chance for him to train, which was wonderful. And this is Tom with the U.S. track and field team. And Tom's got the, I'm sorry, it's not real bright, but Tom has the red circle around his head, and the blue circle behind him is Bill Toomey, the great decathlete. He won the gold medal that year. Tom placed 6th in the Olympics. And here's Tom. I like this photo of him. You could see his freckles still, it was a little bright, sorry. Tom again, the USA team, doing all the events in the decathlon. Excuse me. Okay, and then with his medical degree, he has had a specialty in infectious diseases. And it's so ironic and so very sad that actually Tom died of HIV. He was HIV positive. And one of the complications, pneumocystis, is what he died from, infectious disease, of course. So it's kind of tragic. He spent 2 years in Africa training, teaching African athletes all different events, and also treating them all night at the clinic. Bill Toomey was there with him and said, last time I saw Bill Toomey, he asked me about Tom Liddell again. But he kind of denied Tom for a while, because when he found out Tom was a homosexual, Tom, oh, homosexual, oh, how terrible. Right? I'm kidding everybody, right? So, okay. So Toomey kind of disassociated with him, didn't want anything to do with him, and now has so many regrets about that. But anyway, Toomey said he thought Tom probably slept 2 hours a night those whole 2 years that he was in Africa. He wouldn't leave any sick people in the clinic. He had to stay there and see to them. And we're coming along here. I like this quote a lot. This is, from their book. I would suggest that it's called A Gay Olympian. I have it here if anyone wants to look it over. It's a great book about Tom and his struggles. And it's a book that he wrote when he was dying, and it was for his daughter. I'll tell you about that in a minute too. But it was for his daughter, so that he knew he was going to die probably before she was 4 or 5. And he wanted to be able to have her remember something about him. So he wrote about his life with Dick Schaap, a really good journalist too. Not as good as Martin, but. Okay, so here it is. This is with Greg Louganis, isn't it? Yes. Now, Greg Louganis was the great diver gold medalist, and this is what he said: "I shared many of his dreams and frustrations. We both loved dance and gymnastics long before we were Olympians. We both loved to perform." Tom did. "We both survived painful relationships with our fathers and with lovers. Even though we both realized when we were young we were attracted to men, we liked women and did not feel threatened by them. In fact, we both made love to women, both struggled with our sexual orientation and felt that we had to hide our homosexuality while competing in the Olympics." And they did. At that time, the United States Olympic Committee would not, if they knew they were gay, would not let them compete for the United States. When it was time for Tom to be selected for our Hall of Fame, I happened to be on the Hall of Fame committee that time. I see Dottie Zanotti here, she served on that too, Hall of Fame selection committee. And that year Tom's name came up, and a person, thank God this doesn't happen here anymore, but a person on the committee, when Tom's name came up to be elected, and here he was, an Olympian, everything, slammed his fist down on the table and he said, "While I'm in this position, no one who's a homosexual will get into our athletic Hall of Fame." And everything in the room went, I think I was the only one who voted for him. I mean, everybody was kind of intimidated, but it wasn't until Tom was dead that we recognized him. So we had to wait 20 or some more years. It was just so sad. Okay, Marty, I'm going. So here's Tom and his wife Sarah on his left with her child. Tom very much wanted to have a child. Sarah is a lesbian, has a partner, but they decided they really wanted children. And Sarah was very accomplished, and she and Tom founded the Gay Games, which was